Hello everybody and welcome back to Mutti Plays Pokemon Crystal version. Today we are going to continue to explore the Goldenrod Underground. And in this particular section, the name of the game is to flip the switches in the proper order so that you can get to the opposite side. Now, if you're a kid, you're likely to flip the switches in some... Well, if it's your first time playing the game, you're likely to flip the switches in some random order until you can figure out which one is the guaranteed option to get you to the other side of the room. Now, I am going to tell you that the straightest path forward is to flip the switches 3, 2, 1. But, as you're going to see later on in the video, that's not going to get you all the items, and in fact it took me quite some time to get the order that I needed in order to even get to that item. And honestly, I don't know if there's a straight combination to get to the item in the lower left corner of this room, because I swear I tried every possible combination of 3, 2, and 1, but it didn't let me through, and that drove me insane, so I spent a while just trying to get through it, and I ended up just leaving the place to reset the switches and then coming back in, and then I just wrote down every single switch that I pressed to get down there. So if I didn't leave the text on after I get to the item long enough for you, do be sure to pause the video so that you can write it down. And I'm not entirely sure that I wrote down every single switch that I pressed. But, that's just in this version. In the remakes, they made the puzzle a lot easier by color-coding the switches. Like, there's a red switch, there's a green switch, and a blue switch. And, the red switch opened / closed the doors on the... that are around red tiles in the room, and green switch, green tiles, blue switch, blue tiles. You get the point. So much more simpler than whatever the hell system they came up with in this version. And if one of you is more knowledgeable in the deep mechanics of this version of the puzzle, do feel free to post how the switches are supposed to work, and if I could have come up with a less complicated way to get straight to the item in the lower left hand corner of this room. Or should I say lowest, since it's kinda sectioned off to the 9x9, but only 2, not 9x9, 3x3, but there's only a 2x3 that's actually blocked off by the gates. No. But, enough about that. Yay, level 36. Now, I wonder, how many of you are, diurnal, and how many of you are nocturnal? I want to try to be diurnal because that's just the way I live these days. It'd be more convenient, but sometimes I I sleep weird, so right now I'm kind of forced to be nocturnal, and oh my gosh, Saturday's gonna be such a pain because I gotta go shopping and I should be up before noon. But I'm sleeping until like 3 p.m. right now, and that's not good. But yeah, are you diurnal or nocturnal? And any particular reason why? Would you care to share why? Now, that rocket gives a hint about the shutters. I'm not sure if the others do, but he was the only one that mentioned he would give a hint, so he's the only one I bothered to ask. And suddenly, burglars! Tons of them. Now, something interesting to note. You see that sack he's carrying behind him? Well, in Japan, the country that this game was made in, the typical, sign of a burglar was a burlap sack, and it's often drawn as a sack with those little swirlies on it, and, possibly even a thing tied around below their nose that goes over their face to kind of hide it, maybe? I don't know why, but that's their image of a burglar. Whereas, in America, I do believe our typical image of a burglar is a guy wearing a ski mask and wearing all black and carrying a gun. Which, now, I don't mean to speak on whether or not we should even be allowed to carry guns in this country. I just mean to speak about them, as a choice of weapon in stories when I go on here. But, logically speaking, guns are kind of cheap. They're easy to carry, and you just point and click and you can kill somebody. And in fact, you would have to have really good aim and know where to aim in order to not kill somebody. And hell, even if you shoot a gun into the air, you could kill somebody by that bullet shooting into the sky and then falling onto the earth. So it gets kind of ridiculous when you're throwing mooks with guns at the hero and they keep missing. But if you use weapons like swords or bows or generally any weapon that doesn't move as fast as a bullet. Because it doesn't move as fast as a bullet, it depends more on the human factor for it to be deadly, and, well, that can put a lot more variety into the types of fights that you can have with swords or bows or whatever, as compared to guns. Especially without stretching believability, and there's just so many types of swords out there, and I'll admit I'm not a gun enthusiast because I don't really find the weapon quote-unquote attractive. But I am quite fond of swords. I'll give you 3 guesses, and if you want to take a guess as to why, look at the games I've LP'd. And there's one of the items. But, shoot, I was gonna bring up something else. Gosh dang it, brain. You see one thing that's shiny, and then you completely lose your train of thought. Completely. Oh my gosh. But, oh, remember? How many of you as a kid, learned the trick that if you put a piece of paper to a comb and then you, like, hummed into it or something, it could, make a sound? What was the sound? Hang on, I've got a comb and paper in front of me. Let me set this stuff up. No. Okay, that paper is much too thick. Son of a bitch. Try one of these. Okay, so the paper over the comb, and there's that item. There it is. I'm not doing this right. Son of a bitch! What the hell was that trick? Son of a bitch. Okay, I'll stop wasting time with the... Gosh dang it, how I could do that as a kid! Why have I forgotten how to do that? Oh my gosh, do I have to get the paper wet or something? Is my comb bad? Oh my gosh. Since I've been gushing so much about, well, going on and on about, which generations I like and why this time around, how about you guys? What's your favorite generation, and why are they your favorites? Why are the ones at the bottom of your list your least favorite? It would be quite interesting to know your opinions on which generations catch your interest or captivate you better. They'll be civil about it, okay? And max ether and yuck yuck yuck. Oh, that guy! The guy who told us the Raticate tale. He's up for another bidding? Well, we're here to deliver it. And it has been so long that I cannot remember what his team was last time, so unfortunately I cannot comment about how his team may or may not have changed. But squishy little Grimer, making itself less squishy with a harden. Which reminds me, there's this one comic out there that, it's a Machoke and, like, Jigglypuff or a Clefairy. Where the Machoke is using a combination of moves that, basically make it sound like it's getting, it's taking advantage of the Jigglypuff in a very illegal way. But, one thing that bugs me about that comic, and I think it described a couple of moves this way, but, it said that Machoke used sleep powder when the illustration is it putting a drug into the Clefairy's drink, and it said that the move was super effective. Sleep powder is not super effective. It either affects the Pokemon or it doesn't. Or it misses. Sleep powder does no damage, so it cannot be super effective. If you're gonna give Pokemon moves in the funny way, please make sure you're doing it right. And Nitpicky Mutti shall go in a corner now. To golfing. Wow, that is so challenging at this point in the game. Though one thing I'll note is, like, Sneasel Letty isn't gonna get terribly good Dark-type moves in this generation. Kinda suck. I wish she could get better moves sooner. But with the defeat of that grunt, I am running out of footage, so I will see you guys next time as we continue to explore this area. See you then!